I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Hello,
one nation,
everyone.
under God, indivisible.
What up?
With liberty
What up, Yessie?
and justice for all.
Good morning. Yeah, they're here early. I didn't even grab my shit. So, guys, give me a sec. I'm gonna leave you guys on.
Councilmember Lee.
And
Mr.
then,
Clerk, let's run through the agenda, please.
I'll
Mr. President, would council like all
oh, what do
items
you
to go
call it?
forth
I'll jump in
today?
a sec. Let me
That'll
go
be
grab
the
my
order.
coffee.
There is a request to continue item 2 to Tuesday, August 8th.
Guys, I'm gonna go grab my coffee. I'll be back in a
Without
few
objection,
minutes.
That'll be the order.
Haven't missed anything. It just started.
Item 1 is an item notice for
actually
public
started
hearing.
early. They
Items
got me
3
today.
through 24 are items for which public hearings have been
Right
held.
back.
The Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee report for item 18 has been submitted and posted to council file 23-0600-S36. The Rules, Elections, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee report for item 23 has been submitted and posted to council file number 23-0002-S60. Items 25 through 48 are items for which public hearings have not been held. A city attorney report with a revised draft ordinance dated June 23, 2023, has been submitted for item 43 and posted to council file number 23-0652. The Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee report for item 48 has been submitted and posted to council file number 23-0321-S1. Items 49 through 51 are closed session items considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. Item 52 is a closed session item for which a public hearing has not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, thank you. Members, without objection, those items are now before us. So are there any items that members would like to call special? Councilmember McOsker.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to call item number 2 special and actually request a continuance to August 8th, 8/8/2023.
Very good. Thank you. Without objection, that will be the order. Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to call item 9 special for comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to call items 4, 5, 6, 7 special for a separate vote. I would also like to continue items 25 and 26 to July 5th, please.
All right, on the continuances, that will be the order. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Thank you. I'd like to call item 19 special for comments, please.
Very good. And I'm going to ask that we hold item 8 on the desk and that we hold 16 for an amendment. That amendment, I understand, is being worked on as we speak. And on behalf of Councilmember Rahman, I'm going to call 48 special as well. Any other specials, members? Oh, and item 43, I need to call special in order to move to adopt the ordinance dated June 23rd, 2023, and the city attorney has made technical corrections on that matter, and that'll be seconded, as I understand it, by Councilmember Yaroslavsky. Oh, Councilmember Rahman is here. I'm sorry, Councilmember Yaroslavsky. Yeah, you can both second it. All right, and all right, any other items to call special, members? Very good. Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, after all that, what items are now available for us to vote on?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 through 18, 20 through 24.
Actually, item 16 will need to hold. So those items, with the exception of item 16, are now before us. Members? All right. Does anybody wish to be heard on any of those matters? Seeing none, those items are now before us. So let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
Mr. President, the ordinances for items 11 and 22 will be held over to Wednesday, July 5th, 2023 for second consideration unless reconsidered with 12 members present.
Very good, thank you. All right, that should take us now to the
Guys,
public
my
comment
coffee will be done
section
any
of
second
our
now.
meeting. So
I
I'll first
apologize.
take the speakers who've signed up here in the council chambers, and we'll start. I'm going to call off some names, and as I call your name, please come on over to your left-hand side so that the sergeants can escort you to the microphone there. So, Mickey Jackson, Akhilesh Jha, Andrew Grabner, and Brandon Smith, please. Oh, I'm so sorry. As they're coming up, if the clerk and the city attorney could please read in the instructions for public comment. If the clerk could please read in the instructions for public comment, and the city attorney, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for a participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting,
time to
press star
call
9
in
to
already,
request to speak.
huh?
When it is
All
your
right,
turn to
all
speak,
right,
an
all
automated
right.
Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute. Let me repeat. Call 669
Probably on the other screen, that's why.
5252 and use meeting
That's
ID
all.
number
Relax, don't worry
160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for a
They'll
participant
be just
ID.
fine now.
Once admitted into
It's on the
meeting,
other
press
screen,
star
that's
9
why.
to request to
It's off
speak.
a tick.
When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice
That's
will
why I
ask you
only
to press
use it
star
for the,
6
what do you
to
call
unmute.
it? For the, why is that
To
showing
members of the
that?
public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you would like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item.
better
to
now?
speak, up to
For
3
the,
minutes total, and 1 minute for general public
we
comment.
go.
Speak to the items before
Why?
beginning
Because
general
it's on
public
two
comment.
separate computers.
We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers
That's
as we
why
can.
when we use it,
If you
I
are
only
not
use
speaking
that
on
side
topic,
for,
or
you know,
if we
like
cannot
watching
tell that you
chases
are
and
speaking on
stuff.
topic, you
If
will
it
get
comes to
one
an audio
brief warning
thing where we got to
from the
watch
other
somebody
present.
talk, we switch to
If
the
you do
other
not
computer.
Immediately get clearly on
Just
topic,
off a tick.
or again stray off topic.
Did he get a haircut? It
we
looks
will
like he
forfeit the
did.
rest of
He
your
got that
speaking
fresh
time,
fade on
and
the
we will
side
move
so his
on to the
glasses
next
will
speaker.
fit.
The items open for public comment
It's like it's only tied to that gold paisley one.
And 52. For members of the public calling in to speak, when it is your turn, an automated message from Zoom
LSU
will
tie?
prompt you to press star 6
Could
to
be
unmute
that.
yourself. If you do not do so,
I heard he was
council staff
a
will
roommate of
prompt you
Jamarcus
once
Russell.
If you do not immediately unmute yourself when prompted by staff, you will forfeit your time and we will move on to the next speaker. Also, if you are listening to the council meeting on your
I know we
computer,
laugh at Jamarcus,
channel
but that dude probably
35,
got $100
or
million
another device,
almost from the Raiders.
please
Doesn't
turn
mean he
down the
didn't
volume
squander
on
it.
those devices
And you got to figure he probably only
when
got
it is
half
your
of
turn
that.
to speak.
Maybe 30,
Because of
40 million,
feedback
but
and a
still.
time delay between the
We're not
live
really
meeting and
playing much in the
broadcast,
NFL
it
and
will
being so
cause a
good as
lot
he
of
was in
confusion
college.
if you continue to listen on your other devices.
But where is he now and how big
Finally,
is he? He's got to
for
be
our
a big guy.
callers, Please
gotta
make
be
sure
heavy.
to keep an ear to the phone so that you know when it is your turn to speak. Thank you.
Kim Jong.
All right, and I apologize, Ms. Jackson. 1 second, please.
Sorry, Ms.
Jumped the gun a
Jackson.
little bit on public
I
comment.
am for
forgot
real.
to mention that items 49 through
Oh
51
man, did I forget my weed in there? I
are
did.
closed session items. And I
God
want to
damn,
call
man, this
upon
early
our
start.
Budget, Finance, and Innovation Chair, Councilmember Blumenfield, for his recommendations on those items, please.
Yeah, those items were all heard in Budget Committee.
got
and
the
I think
little-
we can address them in open session. No need to go into closed
I'll be
session.
right back.
Very good. So if there are no questions or comments about any of those items,
the bong. I have my coffee.
and I see none, we can go ahead and on this, if you could read the city attorney's recommendations, and then we'll go ahead and vote on those items.
Thank you, Mr. President. For item 49, in the case entitled Sophia A. Bird Morrison versus City of Los Angeles, there is a recommendation to expend up to $225,000 in settlement. For item 50, in the case entitled Miriam Vences Espinosa et al. Versus Heather Carey White et al., there is a recommendation to
Sweet
expend up to
fucking face
$300,000
diaper,
in
bro.
settlement. For item 51, in the case entitled
And just to let you guys know, today is the final day. Today is the day for the vote to replace Nuri Martinez, which was one of the ladies that was caught up in the whole scandal with De Leon, one of the ones that left right away. She stayed about a week, just like the other one, and then there was 4. 3 left. De Leon's the only one that stayed. But for her district number 6, they have to find somebody to replace her. So today's the day. So we'll see what goes on. See if they address it here.
Good morning,
Here we go.
council members. I'm here talking for the item number 16. I am for the project. I also happen to be the applicant. And I will tell you briefly that what I'm trying to do is build 40 townhomes on a 1-acre lot. There is only one house there right now. So that is my crime right now, so to speak, that I want to build 40 townhomes on 1-acre lot.
40. He's
I
a
had
baller.
come here before on another case about 1.5 years ago. That time I made the same statement that the planning department is wrong in saying that I am not
Tell him, Dominic.
abiding by the state law. City happened to lose that case, lost $500,000. I'm telling you again that if you read the report, if your planning department is full of inaccuracies, you will lose the case again, and I'm not going anywhere, sir. Thank you.
You already lost
Thank you.
$500,000.
Next speaker, please.
Who was a baller? 40 fucking townhomes? God damn. That's big money. That's big money walking out the door.
Good morning, Speaker. If you
Good
could please
morning.
remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Mickey Jackson, general public comment, and item 48.
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item
What's up,
and
Eric?
1 minute for general
Shout out to you and the
public
rest of
Thank
Nebraska.
you. We
Go
spoke
Cornhuskers.
yesterday at the committee. I'm with AHF, and housing is a human right, and we
I
are
can.
totally baffled at what is going on with Skid Row housing. We have contacted numerous people in the city, all the way as high as we could go,
up,
and
broski?
offered to help with this. We have the resources, we have the expertise.
I can't.
We have brought 1,400 and moving towards 1,600 units online
Charlotte.
since about 4 years, more than anyone else, for much lower cost, $100,000 a door. And we can do this. We have the
$100,000 a
can-do.
door?
We have the knowledge. We have
Huh?
the resources. And
Huh?
no one will call us back. No one will
Huh?
communicate with us about it. And the city is flailing, I think. with
Neuropathy,
these-
it's as high as it'll go.
these
Sorry.
receiverships. How many receivers do we have to go through before we go to someone who can fix the houses and get the people in off the street and safe?
Yeah, I apologize. It's on their end.
Item 48.
These people don't talk
is
close enough to the
spoke
mic.
on public comment, general public comment. I'm speaking about the Morris Kite House again. It's a rare thing that city council or any city has the opportunity, it's an opportunity, to make a historical landmark, to give itself
I
a
can
good
zoom
name
in.
for someone who came up with, in that house, with associates that he
Hold on. Oop.
brought together in that house, a gay community services center, the first ever in the world. There are hundreds, maybe even more than 1,000 in the world today
1 second.
because of this one little house. These people who were volunteering, it was the Gay Community Services Center before there was one, and that was the original name.
Jesus.
The Pride festivals, we're in Pride Month. There's Pride festivals all over the world. The first one,
Come on, man.
and done in the 4th Street house. We just ask for a historic monument. What is the big deal? Nobody understands what the problem is. It's such a unique and special opportunity.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Yeah, their sound guy should pump it up, but he understands. Under or over, under or over, under or over 12. Here we go.
Don't shout out, Ms. Cigar Bollinger. You know the rules here. You won't disrupt
She's
the
back
meeting.
there shouting out. I see
You're
her.
supposed to be here at 10
Flicking 'em
o'clock.
off.
You all know the rules, but you come in at 10:05. I signed up as A. Gravener, not Andrew Gravener, and I'm speaking on general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Yeah, so I wonder what all the conflicts of interest that Kevin De Leon had on all those items were, because I noticed he very much avoided the vote. So there's probably some corruption going on there or something. So I'd like to know what that is. Kevin De Leon needs to go. Several of you said you would actually, like break quorum if you do that, but I see pretty much all of the council members who claim they would do that are sitting here right now. So I think it's time to get up and leave, Eunices. It's time to leave. Time to break quorum, because you said you'd do that, and Kevin's here, so why are you here? Break quorum. Come on. We'll wait. Let's go. Break quorum. Same with you, Ugo. Let's break quorum. Let's go. Break quorum. Kevin De Leon needs to
Only 8 of them, man.
Next speaker, please.
Remember, break quorum. I'm going to get a shirt made up that says break quorum.
I'm going to call a few more names.
Andrew the
Stacy
Amazing,
Garbo,
everybody. Andrew the
Corey
Amazing.
Patterson, Emerald Wheatley Johnson, and Gerald Martinez, please. Good morning.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Sure. General comment. Good morning, council members.
Speak up, bro.
Brandon Smith.
Use your balls.
Crenshaw Boulevard in CD5.
See?
Today is my 3rd appearance as a tenant advocate. I've asked the council to address the housing department's repeated failure to protect my neighbors. I want to spotlight LAHD's approval of a tenant habitability plan to seize nearly 1/3 of my neighbor's 2-bedroom apartment in order to subdivide and re-rent their space at market rate. The move is a workaround to outright evicting longtime tenants. But I also want to thank Councilwoman Yaroslavsky for having her senior advisor reach out to me a couple weeks ago. I'm following up today as I've received no responses to my communications. Since then, I've consulted several local housing rights attorneys who all believe that PHP guidelines give no explicit power to reject landlord's plan. So I'm asking the council to take action to close this potentially devastating loophole. No doubt change has many moving parts. I'm patient, but I'm just as persistent. Council can create strong tenant protection with a few actions. I hope to have your support in resolving this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
It's Stacy Segura-Bollinger. I'd like to speak on the liquor license items. Items, I think, 1 or 2. 42, 43, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is not open for public comment, so if you want to speak to it, please do so during general.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, there are liquor license items at the top of the agenda that are noticed for public hearing, though, aren't there?
Item number 1 is open for public comment.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Street people.
Got it. Okay, I'll speak on item 1 then. Okay, so item 1 is a liquor license. As you all know, and as is also mentioned on today's agenda, we're currently under an emergency order due to our unhoused resident population.
I don't think I can get in there,
It would really
Street.
mean a lot if we would consider not putting certain motions on the agenda before that issue is resolved. Stuff like liquor permits, because you don't buy beer when you can't pay rent. As an individual family, you wouldn't spend money on booze if you couldn't afford your rent or your food, would you? But as a city agency, we don't even consider that those things are related at all. So these are things we consider. The spice must flow. The second we stop the flow of money, we can get stuff done. But business is obviously more important than lives to this body.
Thank you, Talvish.
32 is a motion regarding catastrophic illness leave. This is one of many piecemeal legislation that could be irrelevant if we just had universal single-payer health care. There's so many little things that we have to grapple with that would be non-existent if everyone just had a right to see the doctor when they needed, to be in the hospital when they're sick. But again, these bodies care more about making sure that profit seeking is always held above human life, and that's evident in these motions.
Bet you voted for him, too.
Is regarding the
Bet you did.
ordinance, an emergency ordinance. Oh, hi, Tracy. Hi. I know you weren't waving to me. Sorry, I was just being.
There's
silly.
no way she didn't vote for
Emergency
some of them.
ordinance.
No way.
We're sure not acting like it's an emergency. And all the emergency ordinance does is expedite contracts. It says, maybe in 5 years we'll have enough of something built to house everyone, but we're not going to look at putting people in vacancies that exist now. There's motions on the agenda today regarding building mixed income housing. We don't need to build mixed income housing. If we put people who can't afford housing into empty units, ta-da, that's mixed income housing. This is common sense stuff. We don't need to be always outsourcing to private contractors and developers. But again, it's clear that human life is only valuable to this body when it lines the pockets of someone who works in healthcare, someone who works in development, or a landlord. I've got about 19 seconds left, but I'll just go ahead and go on to general public comment.
No, they're not giving you. Oh.
It's absolutely heartbreaking for me to watch the reputation of the city government suffer continued disgrace by the actions of KDL's racist, homophobic rhetoric. There's a lot of work ahead, but the unwillingness of KDL to resign is a slap of face to the residents. Nithya, this is what you said. Nithya and Gregorian, Harris Dawson, what now? Getting a resignation from Kevin was your vow, but Kevin hasn't resigned. Everything you said, I guess, was lies. It was nice seeing you on Saturday, Nithya. So, wish we could have had time to chat, but I know you're busy.
Next speaker, please.
Stacy Cigar Bollinger, everybody. Stacy Cigar.
Mr. Grabner, be quiet.
Oh,
Don't
Mr.
disrupt this meeting.
Grabner, shut up, Andrew.
Hello, my name is Emerald Wheatley Johnson, and I would like to make general public comment, and I would also like to speak to agenda items number 48 and 52 as well.
Okay, you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
I'm an organizer with Los Angeles Community Action Network. I'm also here standing in solidarity
Andrew's
with
awesome.
Skid Row Housing Trust
Sweet jorts.
Residential Action Committee. And I would just like to say that the city should be supportive in loaning receivers who are adamant about restoring the homes of tenants of Skid Row Housing Trust buildings. But Mark Adams has been the receiver of these buildings for almost 3 months now, and conditions have not been changed. A lot of the times we talk about the tenants in these buildings being Los Angeles' most vulnerable populations, but let's not forget about the tenants who have been here for 5 years, that have been here for 10 years, that have been here for 15 years, and these are their homes. They've seen the decline of these buildings. So I would really think that the city should urge the judge to appoint a new receiver who will restore these buildings back to what they should be so that people can have peace of mind at home. Thank you.
Caddy's in
Thank
there
you.
somewhere.
I'm sorry, speaker. Could you tell me your
Hi,
name
Toby.
again, please?
Yes, my name is Emerald Wheatley Johnson.
Thank you very much.
And Street Peeps. Yeah, I don't know if I can get in because I don't know if they've lifted the vaccine mandate. And I've not been vaccinated, nor will I ever be, so I can't show that status, so I don't know if I can get in here.
My name is Gerald Martinez, and I'm speaking on general public.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Items 48 and 52.
Okay, you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. I live in the Skid Row Housing Trust, one of the buildings, for the 19 years now. And in the last 5 or 6 years now, it's been very up and down with management constantly changing. And now in the last few months, with this receivership renewal, the Mark Adams receivership has done nothing for any of us tenants there. With our safety is constantly at jeopardy. The harassment from management, upper management, as well as custodial, is constant, and it's been told to me many times about them being sort of a
did
mafia
lift it now,
type.
huh, Dominic?
And so when one of us tenants tried to come to them for things that pertain to the building and our living situation, we get bumped off, we get the brush off, and it's just, we're left to fend for ourselves most of the time. And the security we do have here, that's trust and security, that was appointed by, I guess, the new receivership, does nothing. And the management that is here right now in my building and the buildings of the 29 buildings of Skid Row Housing Trust are the same people from Skid Row Housing Trust. And like I said, it's a constant array of people coming in, homeless people, drug dealers, a lot of prostitution. I had to get a doorbell camera to protect myself and my well-being because of people breaking in and janitorial leaving vacant units open for people to squat and do what they have to do. And it's just a lot of cahoots with management and custodial, and as well as security guards as well. So this Mark Adams
top flight.
gentleman is not good for the building, for these buildings at all. There needs to be somebody different that's going
Yeah,
to
there are, Charlotte.
and step in and take
That would
it
be
very
me.
seriously, because our lives are in jeopardy, our well-being and our health, because there's a lot of mold and mildew in the building that has not
To me, that's bending the knee to
taken
them.
care of, just patched up.
Even wasting 1 cent of 1 bit of gas money
you have-
to go drive, to go
Thank you
get a
very much.
fake vaccine card, to go
Next
to
speaker,
appease
please.
them. Fuck that. They can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck themselves.
Good morning,
So I don't do
speaker. If you could
anything
please
to
remind
appease
us of
them.
The name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Absolutely. My name is Corey Patterson.
What's
I'd
up,
like to speak
Corey?
on Item 48, 51, and general comment, please.
So item 51 is not
Or
open
52,
for public.
my mistake.
52? Okay. So
52,
you have 2
correction.
minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Correction.
public comment.
Lysol slept with Katie.
Council, my name is Corey Patterson. I am a Skid Row Housing Trust resident. I've lived in our buildings for 6 years and 12 days today. I echo my neighbor Gerald Martinez. We've lived in the Lincoln building, which the community likes to name us Chateau Lincoln, on Ceres Avenue, known as
Chateau.
Skid Rodeo Drive, because it is one of the nicest streets in Skid Row. Our neighbors, the Rossmore, the Americana, we have a community of residents. I echo everything this gentleman has said. Since Mark Adams took over the receivership, we have an enormous amount of increased drug traffic. We have residents selling their keys on the street because security says they have a key, they get in. We started this with 9 buildings on fire watch, and we now have 19. I'm going to echo something. We have maintenance, management, teams of working sabotaging buildings. They turned our elevators off for years over the weekends. They turned our hot water off over the years for weekends, knowing we didn't have access to services or numbers until we got those magic numbers, I call them, to after hours health
Some OG
department,
squid,
after hours,
some PK, pure
elevator
kush.
inspectors. And once those accountables came out after hours, we don't have those problems anymore. We as a community controlled
Too
our
early,
building.
Charlotte.
We had no security. We did
got
not
shit to
have
do.
80% of the problems we have now.
Do I accept Paul?
It's intense. It's
I don't know what
really
Paul
intense.
is,
We
but
don't even have a method or a way to file grievances with any of this property management. Those calls go to a hotline that go transferred to emails or voicemails.
pure.
And nobody follows
P-U-R-E.
up. I personally had medication,
Squid.
life medication, my HIV medication.
It's called
sit in the
PK.
mail from Friday
Pure
for
kush.
4 days because we don't have locking mailboxes. I echo, I've been at the Crest, I've been at the Dewey, I'm part of a Skid Row Housing Council. I worked in the trenches with NIMBYism meetings, passing
Jay
ordinances in communities to build new buildings. I can name multiples. I've been in fundraising events. You know, we're part of a Speak Up Advocate. We have a large community of advocates, and you know, we're going to DC
Sucks,
next
West
week.
End.
I'm asked to sit on the IC or USICH to talk about some policy upgrades. We are not being heard. I'm being retaliated against. As of yesterday, Emerald and I were kicked out of my own building. 2 weeks ago, when I was approached by LA Times journalists, I was kicked out of my building. But every night I watch 20, 30, 50 people coming in to do drug trades. Well, I have a leaking roof of 5 years. I've lived in an abated apartment for 1 year for hack abatement. 1 year. I still have the notice, July of 2022. And I'll make one real
Thank
quick
you.
Agenda items
Thank
to vote on for later,
Thank
I
you very
believe,
much.
is what she's passing on.
All right, I'm going to call a few more names.
And
Kate
Davell,
Purcell,
you can't.
Dr. Naomi Nightingale.
Or D.A.
Elena
Vell. It's
Hauser,
got to be a.
Jeffrey Delshad.
It's got to be fixed to the
Michael
building.
McMahon,
Otherwise,
and
they're not
Chantel
supposed to
Van
deliver the
Nessworth.
mail. Regardless of a lock on there, it's supposed to be affixed to the building. But you know, mail thefts at a huge. They steal the actual skeleton keys from the mail company, so they're going in through the top, taking everybody's shit, closing it. So you just wondering, where's my shit? Doesn't even look broken because they didn't. They used the fucking mail key because they sold it. One of the mailmen sold the key. Oh man, I lost my shit.
Good morning, speaker.
Then they use that
Please remind
key
us of
to
the
go
name that
around.
you
Oh,
signed
let me
up under
fix it,
and
guys.
the items you would like to speak on.
Elena Hauser for item 19.
So item 19 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general public comment.
Okay.
So you have 1 minute.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of the Los Angeles Business Council, or LABC, in support of item 19, and just want to thank Councilwoman Yaroslavsky for her leadership, as well as Councilmember Rahman and Council President Krikorian. Expediting affordable housing not only saves time and money, but allows for more units to be completed overall. Our recent study conducted by UCLA showed that had ED1 been in place in the last decade, it would have yielded a 25% gain in affordable housing production. We encourage you to build on this and expedite mixed income and moderate income housing as well in the future. We found that expanding ED1 to mixed income projects would have yielded a 36% gain about over the baseline since 2010. We need an all-hands-on-deck approach to meeting our housing element goals, and expediting and improving the city's own approvals process is one tool in our toolbox to get more units up and running and make a meaningful impact on our housing crisis. Thank you.
Who knows how much the keys
Thank
go
you.
for? They
Next
were
speaker,
selling
please.
car boots, like the car boot keys in Atlanta. So if your car got booted, they would sell you the key for $50. And get your fucking car
morning.
unbooted.
Good morning.
If you could please remind us of your name and that
So,
you
yeah.
signed up under and the
There you
items
go.
you would like to speak on.
Yes, sir.
That's how people
My
do
name
it.
is Dr. Naomi Nightingale. I want to speak on general comment and item 9.
So item 9 is not open for public comment, but you can speak to it during general public comment if you'd like. So
All right, thank
have
you very much.
1 minute.
Thank you. Only 2%, 3% of the historically designated buildings and structures in Los Angeles are African American. Today, the council is going to vote on a designation for New Bethel Baptist Church, thanks to the support and promotion of that item by Councilmember Tracy Park. We are thankful that the New Bethel Baptist Church will be the second.
Look who just walked
among
in.
These kinds of structures.
Look
in
who's
local
strolling in.
community, where we're striving to bring forth the acknowledgement, designation, and support of contributions made by this community, which was the first intentional black community in the Venice area. The first being First Baptist Church of Venice, California, where we fought for 5.5 years for that structure to be designated. I appreciate the support of Tracy Park and the designation of New Bethel Baptist Church under the Reverend Marvis Davis. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
How funny is it though that he just walks in and just literally just goes like that? That's how he greets you. Fuck you. See, he might have. I bet you he smokes. He probably signs up early and leaves now. Go smoke some weed outside or some cigs. He's a lawyer, by the way. He's past the bar. He's a legit lawyer.
Of CD1, general comments.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Good morning, council members. Save Morris Kite's home, MK1, on 4th Street. Do you know what life was really like for the LGBTQ plus community before institutions founded on 4th Street existed? I mean, do you really know? Please don't go by some cinematic version, good as it might be, to think you do. We don't have time here to go into the tragic stories of the wasted lives here, but we'd be happy to meet with any of you, with all of you, to talk about what it was like before 4th Street. Please give us that opportunity. Worldwide, our community is seriously under attack. Saving our history is vital. Thank you for your consideration. Have a nice day.
I mean, come
Thank
on,
you.
guys. They've
You
added
as
so
well.
many letters. It's confusing
speaker,
to
please.
everybody. Even the LGBT community, it's confusing to them.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
LBZ.
Jeffrey Delshad, general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
WX.
How you doing, City Council? Skid Row is the subject which has been occupying my thoughts as I wait in the queue and over the last week of my life. I go there sometimes, San Julian Park. It's a park. It's not as pretty as
You
this
get crack?
esteemed horseshoe.
You get crack and needles?
But there's people there, human beings. They have some issues. I felt I was the victim of a crime. I went to the central LAPD station.
Next door.
I get the feeling that the city of Los Angeles has pretty much abandoned the San Julian Park area and doesn't really think about it or provide law enforcement services or other services to that area.
What I want you to do is get
Thank
mad
you.
at everybody you hear out on the
Speaker,
street
please.
say defund cops. That's what I want you to get. Don't get mad at the cops. Get mad at the guys who want the defunding and the ladies who want defunding. I mean, I use those terms, guys and ladies,
Good morning, Speaker.
loosely.
If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning, City Council. My name is Chantel Daniels, and I would like to make a general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Okay. First, my heart goes out to everyone who is struggling with not being displaced, and trying to hold on a peace of mind and a sense of dignity. I'm here as a member of District Council District Number 10 and Council Member Hutt. And I've been here multiple times as a part of Breathe Free LA Coalition. And I'm looking for a solution. We're
Every
a group
Democrat,
of
Frank.
Concerned citizens.
Right?
And we're also looking for a solution.
Aren't they all
to our
Democrats in that
exposure to
room?
secondhand smoke. And I will be reaching out to Councilwoman Hutt's office for a solution. And I can also be reached. Here's my information as well. Thank you for your time.
Start there since
Thank
we're
you.
watching here.
Next speaker, Mr. McMahon, followed by Mr. Spindler, and that will conclude public comment
That's
in the
it?
chambers, and then we'll go to the phone.
Man, did I miss anybody?
Good morning.
When I was gone getting
If
coffee,
you
did
could
I
please
miss
remind
anybody?
us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Sure. Michael McMahon, co-founder, Roll Call for Freedom, general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
I didn't?
Good morning. I'd like to know how much your votes cost.
Fuck.
Englander, Weezar, Ridley Thomas all convicted. 2 weeks ago, Curran Price indicted. I'm asking because city employees want an end to this vaccine mandate. So how much will it cost?
Street people.
With all of the corruption scandals, it's obvious that your votes are for sale. Should I just ask a land developer? There's no appetite to end the vaccine mandate. That's what Mr. McCosker's office told me. Mr. Lee's office told me the councilman has an election to worry about. Ms. Parks, your office never even returned a call. And Ms. Rodriguez, who's not here today, her office told me not to expect her to be our savior. So who's got the keys to your votes, ladies and gentlemen? Not your constituents. It's definitely not the employees of the city. Should we just wait for discovery within the firefighter trial? COVID is over globally, so why is there still a mandate in the city of Los Angeles? If you hate the sworn and civilian employees, at least have the guts, like the socialists here, to admit it.
Like Frank.
So is it the money? You should all be under federal RICO investigation for your handling of the city before.
Thank you. Thank you very
There
much.
you go. As soon as he
Thank
mentions
you.
the RICO
And
case.
we'll also take Red Chief Hunt following Mr. Spindler, and that'll be it.
Hey, did they honor anybody before when I was getting coffee? Since I didn't miss any speakers?
Good morning, Speaker. Which items would you like to speak on?
Well, all items in general public comment, of course.
So the items that are open for public comment are 1, 25 through 48, and 52. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Only one liquor license, okay. So item number 1. What? CD14, Kevin? You want people to get fucked up? No, we don't want that. Not in CD14. We're here to help people. That's not the Kevin De Leon that I know. Is that the Kevin De Leon you know, Ulysses? No. This is gotta be a mistake. Look at this, the Honest Bottle Company. Yes, I mean, don't we all like to get fucked up? I mean, the thrill of drinking one after another. Tracy knows what I'm talking about. She had clients, one after another. And then pretty soon you go out to the back and you barf it all up on the sidewalk. And then somebody's got to wash it down. You don't want that, Kevin. No, you don't want this. No more alcohol. That's CD14. So that I can educate Ulysses to also shut down all the alcohol in her district over there on 7th and Rampart, where they have an after party where they go ahead and smoke meth, crack, and traffic in women. See, that's what we got to stop, right? You should see CD1. You go over there between 7th and 8th and Rampart, Kevin, and look at the party zone. That we call it the Ulysses party zone. I've been trying to shut it down, but we start with no alcohol. Then we get to these REAP. Look at Ulysses doing the good work, continued by the great.
Hey, build a brave, don't spam.
Gil Cedillo. Let's give Gil Cedillo and his memory a hand. He was a fine man. All of that shit on that tape. Kevin will tell you, Nuri, rest in peace, will tell you that you had it all wrong, that this was all the work of Cedillo on 25, 26. Yes, to get rid of all of this rent escrow. They don't want to give it to rent escrow, because then you got to hire Del Richardson Price, and you got to remove everybody out and pay them, and then her husband has to vote on the contracts. You don't want any more of that. Oh, look, 27, CD9. And then we got another one for CD9 on 34. Well, Mr. City Attorney, how come you got all up in Kevin's ass? You didn't want him to be on committees. You called him a racist. You called him conflicts. How come an indicted council member gets to have privileges of committee representations on this agenda? How come his stuff isn't stricken from the agenda? See? I told you last year, right? I told you, you're fucking with the wrong people. I told you Kevin's a crime victim. I told you that. You don't fucking listen. See, you guys jump to conclusions. You hear a fucking tape. You didn't hear the other 44 minutes of the tape because the LA Times hasn't released it yet. Listen to the other half of the tape. The FBI agents were in court this morning. I'll do that in my general comment. Now, in my general comment, guess what? The FBI apparently didn't know something. Apparently, somebody turned in Mike Fuhrer. They took credit for it, but the snitch came to federal court this morning at 8 o'clock and said, no, he did it himself to make good. And his name was Paul Parody. It's a good friend of Paul Martin Krikorian there, Kevin. See, Paul Martin Krikorian, Kevin, would hire all these outside attorney firms for the city and give them all these multi-million-dollar contracts when they didn't even have a license to practice in the state of fucking California. Paul Parody had a bar card in New York City. What? New York City? Give me a rope. Remember that commercial? Yeah. How come, Paul?
Get a rope.
Why did you import attorneys from Ohio and attorneys from New York when they can't practice? Tracy Beach, tell us why. Because they wanted to get away with it.
Next
Put
speaker.
Kevin.
Next speaker, please.
It is zoomed in as far as it'll go. It's as loud as it'll go. It is zoomed in as far as it'll go. Damn, he's pretty tame today. And yes, he's got his bar card. This dude, look up Wayne Spindler, and you'll see.
Good morning, speaker.
This dude
If you could
sued the
please
city.
remind us of
This
the
dude's
name
worn
you signed up under
KKK
and the
masks.
items you would like to speak on.
He's crazy.
Red Chief Hunt, General Public Comment. Hey, Paul Krikorian, I tried to set up a meeting with your office. Dawson no longer represents me in my district, so I tried to set up a meeting with Paul Krikorian. Here's the thing is that people stop coming down here because it's too much collusion. and confusion and illusion. Hey, you guys are not doing your job. You guys work for the people. This is the people who sets the trend and stuff like that.
Thanks, Card Vibe.
If you guys don't
Love
know
cards.
that Current Price deserves the right to due process, Hunt versus the City of Los Angeles. That's how it became a Ninth Circuit winner by right to due process.
Click on the link
when I
tree.
wiped out the
And you
city
can see
two
my
times
eBay
in
store
federal
all the way at the
court.
bottom.
But you guys don't understand. Everybody deserves the right to due process. Please don't process the law wrong. Current Price needs a fair chance and things like that. Man is innocent until proven guilty. On that note, hey, you guys, please pull it together and stuff like that. The 11th District, I'm coming back to you. I get it all together, man. I had the best city council from 2004 to 2014.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Mr.
See, they're always trying to get out of here, Mr.
Come on
Spindler, and then there was two more after Mr. Spindler. Like, come on, man. They're
Good
always
morning.
trying to get out of here too early.
General public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
All right. First of all, I believe that folks are afforded a safe and sanitary conditions for housing. Housing is a human right. My name is Mr. Pancake, born and raised in L.A.
Mr. Pancake, I remember him.
L.A.
Remember?
is my city. I am a L.A. Can organizer, artist, and activist. Housing is a human right. A housing and homeless applicant. I speak on behalf of the SRHD tenants. I'm supporting the $10 million to make necessary repairs to these buildings. I have spoken to many of the tenants expressing concerns about management not responding to basic habitability issues. Some of the buildings, no mailboxes, tenants have missed medical appointments and other appointments due to the non-delivery of their mail. And I would say something about Skid Row CD14 has no representation. KDL has got to go.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go next to callers on the phone. We'll take 15 minutes of public comment on the phone.
Yeah,
Let's go
right.
ahead and take the first caller, please.
That should be 15 calls.
First caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Hi, caller. Does my pussy look nice?
Good morning. This is Brock Landers, private investigator.
Turn
I
him
would
up.
like to speak on 45, 46, 47.
I'm sorry, can you speak up? It's a little bit hard to hear you. I heard of 7.
I'd like to speak on 45, 46, and 47 and general public comment.
Okay, you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
So low.
Thank you. Senior citizens, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. Last week on Smoke and Scan, we watched a Jag go 130 miles on the freeway. They exited the freeway, headed to Figueroa. Later in that same chase, a brave officer half-heartedly tried to jump into that car after the driver abandoned it, ghost-riding it. The officer worked about as hard as Stacy works on being in tune, as hard as works on eliminating filler words, or as hard as Christy worked on taking all of it. But like my boy Eric Wright said, don't matter, just don't bite it. I respect all of their efforts. Because of dangerous people like this car thief, it's important that we have programs to keep senior citizens off the street. To the gentleman talking about the nicest street on Skid Row, Mr. Herman being the fastest kid in the Special Olympics doesn't make him fast. Winning the debate championships at the annual Helen Keller Public Speaking Challenge
She just fell.
doesn't make him a master debater.
She just fell.
As long as the city is paying all of these scripters, your street is just a polished turd. To general public comment, who does Mr. Herman or his mother need to orally gratify so we can get some fiber laid to the Smoke and Scan headquarters? If it's Mr. Herman's mom, it should be a short list. To expedite the process, I would be willing to help with the installation. Brock is used to laying a girthier pipe, but according to what you tell the little lady, the interns, and yourself when you're alone in that dark place, it's a good size, and it's not the size that's important. What's important is that everyone has access to a smoother Smoke and Scan stream. I think at least once a week we should start taking the public callers first. I think that is super hypocritical for the people that come in and talk to council. They complain that you guys won't listen to them, but as soon as they're done gracing our ears with their amazing ideas.
Sir, you really need to speak to the agenda items or go to general public comment.
This is my general public comment.
Okay, 1 minute for general public comment.
I know you're paying attention. I appreciate that. Anyway, I think it's super hypocritical for all those people to come through and to complain that you guys don't listen, and then as soon as they're done, they're out the door. So everybody have a safe night. Hopefully we'll get a chase on Smoking Scan tonight, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I love you, Brock. Well, and Brock, if you're listening
Next caller,
to me, you gotta
what
see the
items
chick
would you
who
like to
fell.
speak on?
Oh, she busted her chair almost.
Hello?
They're all
Caller with the last 4 digits.
See, it's their sound guy.
9631.
You know, notice how loud she is. Look at him. He's trying to
Please
figure it
press
out.
star 6
That's
to
him.
unmute.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, we can hear you, but can you please speak up? Which items
Yep.
would you
Is
like to
this
speak
loud
on?
enough? General comment, please.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
902 days have passed since the January 6th insurrection at our Capitol. in
Oh
our
my
city,
God! Turn it back down.
Still honoring Donald Trump's name and brass and marble on our sidewalk. Last week, I sent multiple city officials, including the office of CD13, my direct submission to the Walk of Fame, which under Council File 78-3949 requires, quote, departments or city officials receiving such written requests shall forward them to the City Council for referral to the Public Works Committee. I don't see that referral. The insurrectionist honorific to Donald Trump is a piece of private property on public property with no individual historic designation. When will you have the courage to remove it? Some supporters of this action include Councilmember Bob Blumenfield, Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson, former Councilmember Mike Bonin, former Councilmember and City Attorney Mike Fior, Mayor of West Hollywood Duffy Shine, Assemblymember Laura Friedman,
Mayor of
State
West
Senator
Hollywood.
Anthony Portantino, Silver Lake Neighborhood Councilmember Navia Girl,
Speaker, your time has expired.
Alex Mueller.
Thank you very much.
Speaker,
Next speaker,
you're
please.
done.
Caller,
the toilet
which
on
items
him.
would you like to speak on?
Every time, same thing with this guy. Full rent free, dog. Clown.
No, item number 1, 25 through 48.
Robot.
52. General public comment.
It's Robot Dog's
Okay, you have
husband.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning, public. The Los Angeles City Council, in relation to the items, is a criminally insane, corrupt organization of organized crime. Nothing more. This is a circus clown show. Item number 1 is from the Louis Vuitton expert, Kevin Leon. Liquor licenses, that's exactly what we need.
Thanks, Broski.
This is a total, complete example of the incompetence, the stupidity, and the corruption of the Los Angeles Sleazy Council, known around the world as the most corrupt city council in the United States. Look at the 40 people standing around at this circus.
Oh, they hung up on him? Oh, shit, he muted. He may have muted himself. He doesn't know.
Are you
he's-
there?
He doesn't know he's muted. May have muted his
Okay.
phone.
Next speaker, please.
Fuck no, you waited all that time.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
I don't think they cut him off. I think he muted himself. He was the one that calls him, the coon.
Go ahead, speaker.
Says a lot of bad things. A lot of bad stuff.
Caller, if you can please press.
Need to fire these
6
sound
to mute
guys.
Yourself.
You want to call in, you can still call in. There's the number. Right there.
Caller, this is your last opportunity to speak. Please press #6 to unmute yourself.
All right, next caller, please.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller? Dude, I think this fucking sound guy might have fucked it up. You guys might be right. They might have fucking done.
Caller with the last 4 digits.
Now we're not hearing nothing.
3713. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Caller with the last four digits 3713. This is your last opportunity to speak. Please press #6 to unmute yourself.
Yeah, everybody's muted. Notice that? And look, you can't see, but again, where the live sign is, you can hear. You can see him going like this, putting his earphones on, this, that, and the other. It's crazy, you know. Cat, thank you so much, Cat. Sheesh. Thank you. I appreciate you, Cat. You rock. See? See? So they need to fucking fix that. And these idiots are grabbing. I mean, think about it. Nobody else would have headphones but a sound engineer in that room. There's no reason, right? Not one of them wear it. Again, this ain't the UN where it's so big that they got to hear everything in a ear. No. This is here where you have the sound. And again, everybody tells me, Damon, turn it up. Turn it up. I can't hear. Hey, man, it ain't me. It's them. And I do understand why in chambers they kind of go low, because you have guys like Mr. fucking Harlan going absolutely ape shit, and he's screaming into the mic, and you know, again, it hurts their ears, it hurts the interpreter, you know what I mean? It, you know, it just is.
That's my fucking property.
That.
Who in the hell? Mr.
That.
Mr. Harlan, don't.
That's why.
Into the microphone. Mr. Harlan.
All right, there's a
Harlan, please.
technical issue
So,
with the
Mr.
phone
Harlan,
line that we're going to try to get fixed within the next minute.
GoFundMe
But
link?
in
I don't
the
have a
meantime, let's go
GoFundMe
ahead
link.
and
GoFundMe.
Mr. City Attorney, you have
I don't
an
have
amendment
one
on
going up.
Which item was it?
Hopefully someone doesn't have one in my name, because
Item number
that's some
16. If you could go ahead and
sus
read that
ass
into the
shit.
record, please.
Yes. So the amendment is from CD7, and it is signed by Marquise Harris Dawson for Monica Rodriguez and seconded by Councilmember Blumenfield. It says that item 16 on today's council agenda be amended to approve the following additional recommendation. Adopt the rationale now and responses contained in the Planning Department's appeal
Well,
report
Lobster, I'm sitting
dated
here.
June 14th, 2023, and all
You
other
see me go
Planning
crazy?
Department communications attached to council file number 23-0525 as the rationale and responses of the council based on the whole of the administrative record.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, have we had any success with the technical issue?
Ian, thank you so much. Yassi, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Impressive.
And thank you, Cat. You rock. That was huge, Cat.
Apologies to those callers who are on the line, but you can't
Thank
be
you,
heard
Cat.
in council chambers due to a technical issue. So I apologize. We weren't able to get to more callers.
Of course.
That will close public comment.
Of
on
course.
all agenda items.
Of
Close
course.
general
We
public
won't
comment.
try to fucking fix it. We won't even give it a few minutes to fix it because we're not smart enough to play around because we just had it working.
11 and 22.
And then we had it working and it was working terrible. Then we turned it up and then we turned it off.
So the first
Got
vote will
it.
be on whether to reconsider
the way to go.
those items. That
Yeah, they
matters
wanna
now
go home.
before us. Let's open the roll. Close the roll and
Fucking,
tabulate
I mean,
the
really,
votes.
dude. They might as well have played this shit.
Thank you. Those items are now before us on the underlying matters. But if no one wishes to be heard, let's
I mean, that's
go
all I
ahead and
hear
open
when
the
he's
roll,
talking.
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
I'm waiting for the dildozer to break through the wall right now.
Next order of business, please.
The council may now vote on items 27 through 42 and 44 through 47.
The
All right, those items are
dildozer.
now before us. Do any members wish to be heard? Seeing none, let's go ahead and open the roll.
Right,
Close
Ravens?
the
I mean,
roll
it's-
and
and then I
tabulate
get
the
blamed
votes.
for it, Ravens. That's the
Well,
worst
guys.
part. Man, turn that shit up, stupid. I can't hear it even though you can. Man, it's not me. Thank you, Jim Eaton. Appreciate you.
All right. What's next before us, Mr. Clerk?
The council may now vote on
None,
item 4, called
Justin.
special by Councilmember
Zero
Hernandez
fucks
for a
given.
separate vote.
Okay. That matter is now before us. If there's no members
Their way or the highway.
Mr. De Leon, you wish to be heard on item 4?
Quite tame today.
Let's go ahead and open the roll on item 4.
Today, when after the thing happens, I'm assuming then tomorrow she'll be brought in, or he'll be brought in, whoever wins. Maybe I'll win tomorrow
my
after all
apologies. Let's
the
go
all the
ahead and
write-in
hold
votes.
Item 4 on the desk.
You know, like D's nuts. Everybody's just gonna write
Mr.
Damon
Daly.
Heller instead of D's nuts. I'm down.
So kind enough to
Just to be the
continue
thorn in their side. Just show up in like,
to July 5th.
you know, fucking sweatpants and a t-shirt every day.
All right.
Just go
If
fuck
there's no
yourself or
objection,
something. Or
Item 1 will be continued until July 5th. That'll
they're
be
all in suits, and then I roll up like that. It'd be great with a fat joint.
All right, let's move
My
on
ear.
to item number 9.
Man, are we
please.
done with this shit? Because I
Councilmember
gotta go
Park
smoke this
called
right here.
item special. Councilmember Park.
Thank you, Council President. Colleagues, the New Bethel Baptist Church.
Yo, man, hurry up, man. Be sitting there. Hey, but wrap that shit up, B.
Historical
When they're talking.
Not just to the
Just say it to
congregation that worships there today.
Be the worst
but to
thorn
the
in their
Black
side. It'd be
history
great.
In Venice. Built in 1939, the New Bethel Baptist
Yeah,
Church
Vin Martin,
purchased the property
wise guy, was
in
telling me earlier. I didn't know.
1957.
Sad.
Since then, it has
Crazy world, man.
continually served the congregation and the African American community of Venice, surviving the demographic shift of the last 5 decades, threats of redevelopment, and more. When I visited most recently, I saw a place that wore its decades with grace. Photos of families, friends, and loved ones hanging from the same walls where certificates and proclamations from generations of civic leaders and faith leaders past showcase the church's proud history. I want to thank the members of our community who
Is she wearing
helped
shoulder
make this
pads?
happen, some of whom are here with us
Shoulder
today.
pads in that thing?
In particular, Pastor Marvis
Why is
Davis,
one
who
all
has been
puffy
so
and then one's
warm
all
and
like, oh no,
generous
it's the
in
same, I
welcoming
guess.
me
Just looks that
into
way.
his congregation, and to Dr. Naomi
Weird ass shit.
Nightingale, who has been essential in preserving the history.
That shirt reminds me of. Hey, do you guys remember the Huxtables? Whatever that show was with the Huxtables. Do you remember when Theo wanted to make his own shirt, and he decided he couldn't afford to buy the designer shirt that everybody wanted, so he decided to make him one? I'm gonna tell you, that's what that shirt reminds me of. If you remember that episode, when one arm was like,
Second in his
one
mission
arm was long, the other one was
preserve and
way too
uplift
short,
Venice's rich African
and it was all
American
puffy
history
like that.
will ensure this
Yeah,
cultural
man, it
touchstone
was like
is appreciated
I don't
for
remember.
generations to
It was
come.
too funny.
Thank you so much. I urge your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, and I just want to rise and thank
Probably the latter,
folks
GRP.
in Venice, at the congregation, Pastor Davis, and the whole team for making sure this work happened. You know, there's a lot of places in this city, Venice being one of the main ones, where there is history that our city hasn't been great about preserving, and so this designation that the councilwoman is bringing across the finish line today, I'm so grateful for and thankful for her work. For us now, but for the future.
Guys, give me a sec. I gotta do
so
something.
many places in this city.
My TV.
Like
I turned my TV out.
like
Unpaused.
Venice,
I
like
can
Pleasant
hear it.
Hill, just up the street, have rich histories that we can do better in our time in leadership, making sure we preserve that history for generations to come. So, thank you, Councilwoman Park, and thank you to our friends from Venice and Pastor Davis. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. If there's no other members wishing to be heard, the item is now before us. Let's go ahead and open the roll and tabulate the votes.
12 ayes.
Congratulations. All right. All right, Mr. Clerk, let's go ahead and move next to item 43, please, which is before us as amended.
Getting gray screen there?
And on item 43,
Just
are
came
there
back,
any
I saw a
members
little
wishing
red.
to be heard?
Yeah, my power went out
All
the
right,
other
seeing
night for
none,
like
let's go
4
ahead and open
hours,
the roll.
dude. It sucked.
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
It
12 ayes.
sucked.
Thank you.
Sucks
That'll
when you
take us
lose
next to
power.
Item number 19, called special by Councilmember Yaroslavsky for comments. Item 19.
Thank you so much, colleagues. I rise today to ask for your aye vote on item number 19.
With your support, we're going to be initiating the process of making Mayor Bass's Executive Directive 1 and the streamlining of 100% affordable housing a permanent part of city law, and I'm really excited about that. By the end of last year, as a city, we'd approved less than 3% of the more than 184,000 very low and low-income units we committed to build by 2029. But if we pass this legislation, LA could approve new affordable housing developments 6 times faster. In the 6+ months since the mayor signed ED1, the results have been nothing short of dramatic. City planning has approved 20 different 100% affordable and supportive housing projects in an average of 37 days, down from the normal 6+ month wait time. There are an additional 28 projects representing 2,600 new units, all affordable, currently in the pipeline. This executive director has been a game changer for our city. But given that ED1 is tied to the Emergency Declaration on Homelessness, there's a clear and pressing need to codify these processes. The motion before you today is also a clear example of what happens when we cut red tape and accomplish critical work to make LA more
Chase
affordable.
every 10 minutes in LA. 50
This motion
guns.
is the
When
result
it gets
of
on the
months
news,
of
I'll show
coordination
it.
and partnership with the mayor's office and substantive contributions from planning, housing, and the leadership of Council President Krikorian and Councilwoman Rahman and their staffs. So thank you so much for your leadership on this.
Try refreshing,
I really
Matt.
appreciate you letting me place a small part in pushing this forward. Thanks also to Council President Pro Tem Harris Dawson and Rahman and McCosker. We were able to bring this motion before Council with nearly unprecedented speed to ensure that we don't allow these critical improvements to even temporarily expire. So with this vote, we're taking a critical step forward, making LA a more affordable and livable city for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Yaroslavsky. Ms. Rahman.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Councilmember, for your leadership on this issue and for your staff's work on making sure that this moves through Council quickly. I just wanted to say one thing, which is I think a lot of us look at the affordable housing crisis that we're facing here in LA and feel a sense of increasing hopelessness. And I am really heartened by what we've seen coming out of ED1's brief time over the last 6 months, including what we saw in my district, which is that projects which were originally market rate actually resubmitted as 100% affordable units. And that's because of a change that we made in the city. So I think that's an indication to all of us how much power we hold in this body to make a real impact on Los Angeles and how we should be using those powers moving forward to address our city's biggest need, our affordable housing crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rahman. Seeing no other speakers on the roll, we can open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right, what's next?
The council may now vote on item 4, called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote.
Is that a special diaper for his
We'll open
face?
the roll on item number 4, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 1 no.
All right, what's next?
The council may now vote on item 5, called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote.
All right, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes, 2 noes.
All right, what's next?
The council may now vote on item 7, called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote.
Open the roll.
No point. They get indicted.
Tabulate.
You know, there's no point. Yes, it's me, because they get indicted
ayes,
pretty
1 no.
frequently. So no point in getting
All
to
right.
know them
Where does that take us?
till the next
Mr.
indictee
President, the council may
rolls
now
in.
vote on item 6,
All right,
called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote.
all right.
Facts
We'll
don't
open the
lie.
roll,
History
close
don't
the
lie
roll,
there.
Tabulate the vote.
10 ayes, 1 no.
All right, next.
The council may now vote on item 8,
All right. Open the roll, close the roll.
Mr. Spindler's still over there
Vote.
chilling. Look at him. You see him? Look where Hernandez's name is, right to the left.
What's next?
the council may now
Yeah,
vote on
damn,
item
damn.
16, which was amended by motion Harris Dawson for Rodriguez.
On my
Bloomfield.
power don't go out.
All right. Seeing no
Man, I had to
speakers
get
on
the
queue for
candles
this
out and
item, we'll
everything.
open
It
the roll,
sucked.
Close the roll.
I had to use a laptop to kind of
Tabulate
like
the vote.
light the
12
room. The whole fucking neighborhood was out.
All right. So we're going to prepare the chambers now to go into closed session. Ask the sergeants to assist us in that regard.
Get everybody out. Get the public out because we
So
need.
this should be
See, I mean, where's the transparency?
council members, staff, and staff from
Telling
city
everybody to leave here.
and
Mr.
or the
Spindler's
mayor's
here,
office.
and the cops rolling in, telling them to get out of here. Yeah, yeah. Fucked up. There goes the transparency, right? Can't be transparent about nothing. You know, turn this shit off. Hold on. Before I get a goddamn fucking another copyright from some fuck. Oh man, that's the piano ballad from Russian whatever. Well, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Well, what happened is they went through a little bit of public comment. Then their phones didn't work, right? They did, but I mean, you know, their sound guy obviously is about as good as a sound guy at a junior high fucking assembly, you know, for lunchtime assembly. So there's that. Now they've decided to clear the room after voting so that way the general public doesn't see what's going on. Or us even. So that's why, again, now they're closed. They're in a closed session now. So there's really no point in even staying. You know what I mean? Because that's all they do. They sit in the little closed session, do their thing. Let's go see what the bar's like. Hold on. Let's refresh it here because that's not live. Let's see if anybody's drinking. I got a few people. Just some diehard dudes. The diehard dudes. Let's still take a look at Venice. Let's see what's going on in Venice Beach. Hold on, let me refresh that too. Beautiful day at Venice, man. Look at that. That's a pretty day. Zero accountability, zero transparency. They give you a minute to talk. I mean, there's really no point in even going down there. You know, you're not going to make any difference. You're just really wasting your time and breath. Because like I said, as soon as one gets indicted, it doesn't matter. The next one falls in place. And, you know, it's the definition of insanity, you know, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. But the problem is here is, like I always say, is this particular state, there is no alternative. So it's either that same piece of shit that just got indicted or another person who's just waiting to get indicted who's from the same flock. And that's the problem. That is the problem with having no counter thought or talk, no counterpoint, no nothing, no opposition. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. They said that, right? I'm sure you've heard that saying before. Here you go. That's what happens when all of one side rules, and that's just that. So I'm sorry, guys. It was a pretty shitty Monday. Tuesday rather. I'm wondering if tomorrow, Wednesday, because today is the vote. I'm assuming it doesn't take that long to tabulate the votes into one fucking district. They could do that overnight. I'm assuming they do it overnight for a presidential one. So why couldn't they do it in one district in a fucking city, right? So we'll see who they install, and let's see if people are angered, and let's see if, what's going on. That's all we can hope for, No Mr. Harlan, no Mr. Herman, no Mr. Sachs. I mean, pretty dead in that sense, I mean, I can give you a drop.
Paging Mr. Herman.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Who in the fuck do you guys think you are?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing I can do, man. And then there's sound guys shit, and it's always that way. Because a lot of times you guys tell me, oh, it's light. It's because, and that's why those cops are constantly pulling the mic down, because it's just like, the ones who know about a mic kind of are on it and have a voice. Then the other ones are, You know, they talk like this. Even if you put it in their mouth, they don't use their balls, and it's really hard to hear them. And then they blame Damon because Damon's on 11. He can't even go any higher, and it doesn't matter because he's talking like this, and it's really hard to understand because he has no balls. So when you don't use your fucking balls, nobody can fucking understand you. And just so we're clear, there's women with balls and there's men with balls. Okay? Use them. Fucking use them when you're talking. Speak up. So, that's what it is, and then I get the blame for it. Man, you got the man. You got to fire your sound guy. They do good jobs. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what do you want me to do? You know, you can hear me clearly, clear as a bell every goddamn time. In fact, the machines were too hot. Hello, look at that. I'm ready.
I got a booter.
Yeah, girl, that's what I'm talking about right there. She's got a nice buttocks, and I like it. Let's take this time to shout out the guy who's invented the yoga pants. And shout out to all the ladies who've decided to not only wear yoga pants and things like it in the gym, but outside of the gym. We love it that you go to Starbucks or Target or wherever the fuck you go. We ain't mad. I'm just trying to tell you, I could pretty much speak for almost every man. I'm trying to tell you, we're not mad. She is pretty fit. I like that. Perfect. I got enough fat for both of us. Trying to tell you. You know how that opposites attract thing works. So busy. Should be busy trying to fix me. Oh, he's fat. I'm going to get him in the gym and get him buff. No, I'm going to get you lifting cheese. I'm going to be lifting cheeseburgers while you're lifting weights. Target is full of chicks in yoga pants. That's what I'm saying, Essence. That is what I'm saying. Yep. That's all I'm saying. And I love the fact that they decided to wear them outside of the gym or yoga studio, whichever you prefer. V-Pool, thank you so much for 31 months. Man, you are
outstanding.
Thank you so much, V-Pool. They took our jobs. Thanks, Spark, rather. Yeah, it was pretty lame today, man. I mean, it sucked. I don't know, man. Where do I like to get burgers? In-N-Out, but the fucking line sucks. And so do the fries, too, but I put up with the fries because the burger's the best. Other than that, Tommy's, when I feel like having a little chili burger. Nothing wrong with a little chili burger. Tommy's. Those two pretty much are the top two if you want to get a burger that I know of. I mean, there's always little mom and pop kind of spots. There's that spot that makes really good burgers. It's in Northridge. That's a bit further from my house. Where I told you they serve burgers and sushi. And I know you're saying to yourself, like, wait a minute, burgers and sushi? Yes. And it's a fantastic place, and they have the best, and I mean the best garlic fries. My God, you can't sit across someone and not smell them. They're like that garlicky and great. Not Farmer's Boys, not Habit, not Fat Burger. It's called King's, I think. King's Burgers? Maybe something like that. I think it's like King's Burgers. Let me see. And I want to tell you, man, they make top-notch sushi. I think it is King's Burgers, right, Katie? Yeah, I think it's King's Burgers. Yeah, King's Burgers is the place. And what it is there was a guy that owned, I think he owned the sushi. He owned Sushi Spot, right? Then there was a burger spot next to it. So he bought the burger spot. I think that's how it goes. Then he meshed them together and made this cool fusion burger sushi joint. And I'm telling you, if you're in the San Fernando Valley, go look up King's Burgers. I'm telling you should go try it. It's a good place. It can get a little packed because it's not huge. It's like 30 tables or something, but it can get a little packed sometimes. So think about that. But it's definitely a cool place to go. Fantastic sushi, great burgers. And when I mean burgers, I mean like, we're not talking like fat burger kind of stuff. We're talking more like big ass artisan bun, giant fat burger with huge fries with the garlic all over them, and it's yeah. So, yeah. It's a whole lot. Sports cards are great. Laugh out loud. Okay, well. Okay. Funny thing is I'd be willing to bet. Says if you show me what you deposit every month, what you make for a living, I'd be willing to bet. Says I might make just as much, if not more, selling sports cards. Be willing to make that bet. $50, PayPal. Let me know. Laugh out loud. I could use $50. Go buy some food for Stanks. Let me know, Vic. I'm right here. And you can message me right there. Hit me up with a whisper with a little $50, PayPal. Send it to you today. Van Nuys? No, it's not in Van Nuys. It's in Northridge or something. It's not in Van Nuys or Reseda. It's nowhere near Van Nuys, dude. They might have another one over there, Dominic, but the one I'm talking about's on nowhere near. It's not on Van Nuys. Yeah. It is. Well, I mean, Jimmo, it's not all profit, of course. We're just talking, what do you call it? Gross. Yeah, it's on Reseda in Northridge. Thank you. Essence. No, see, that's what I'm talking about, Dominic. Now, again, Dominic, I'm telling you, it's popular enough to where maybe they made another one. Or, again, it's a kind of a generic name. There may be another one. You know what I mean, with another name that's just similar. But if you Google the one that Essence talking about, in that from Reseda in Northridge, yeah, that's the one that comes up. That's the one I've been to. So I'm saying it's further from my house. If it was closer, I'd go there more often. But yeah, man, it's definitely a cool place to go check out. 105 in Florida. Well, I gotta tell you, Val, we're about to get our very first heat wave of the summer. Since summer officially just started, that's why you've been blasted out, and you can see here all the people at the beach. Nice warm day. It's 64 degrees there at the beach, but yeah, we're about to get blasted here, and it's supposed to be not very high, in the high 80s, low 90 maybe, which isn't very hot, of course, but it's the very first one. So we're actually transitioning to finally to the real warm weather, from lightly warm in spring to heavy warm. You know how it is. July, August, the hottest month of the year, really. So we'll see. Yeah, 105 in Florida ain't good though. That's sticky, nasty. Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it, man. If they saw the Burbank Card Show, they would laugh. They wouldn't laugh. Oh, no, for sure. I mean, that's a small show too. I mean, man, I've been collecting cards since 1985. That's how long I've been collecting cards, since I was chasing Eric Davis rookies in 85 tops. That's how I started. And Garbage Pail Kids. That was the first year Garbage Pail Kids came out. So that's when I really started. Been a long time. A lot of things have happened with the hobby, and I just remember in Anaheim there being I used to do shows every weekend with a boss of mine. I wasn't old enough to really drive and didn't have a car, so I'd go with him, and we'd get table, and he'd have like 3 showcases, and he'd allow me to have 1 showcase as well. But I sold modern shit at the time. He sold all vintage, so we weren't like, we didn't have the same shit to sell, so he didn't care. And, in trade for sometimes he'd go around the show and try to make deals and stuff like that, and I'd be watching the show, the cards, and selling stuff for him. So it worked out for both of us. I mean, even back then, cards were making a lot of money then, Counterfeiters were everywhere. It was just a lot of money in it, you could see then. And now even more. You're 112 in already in fucking Arizona? God damn. It's terrible. Terry, it's terrible. That's why, Arizona's beautiful. A lot of beautiful women. I like the state, but it's too hot. It is. It's my only pet peeve about, living in Nevada. Pretty windy too, The card show at the Ventura Fairgrounds. Never been to that one, Jim. Conseco was your first chase? Nice. I do remember doing they're back. 86 Donruss, going for him and getting Fred McGriff. But not that that's a bad thing, Let's see, these ding-dongs are back. Did they?
Thank you very much. We took up item 52 in closed session. Mr. City Attorney, is there anything to report publicly
All right, let's see
about
if
the
these
closed session?
you want to watch the rest of these dummies, or we can
Very
take
good.
off.
Then we can proceed next to item number 48. Item number 48 is now before us, members.
What happened to the Toys R Us stock? Oh, I'm sure there's probably outfitters that bought it. Other stores.
All right, item 48 is now
KB
before us. I
type
see no
stores.
members wishing to be heard.
Not that they're in business anymore, but you know what I mean.
On that item, let's go
Smaller
ahead and
stores.
open the roll.
Sell it off at 30%.
Close the roll.
20%.
And tabulate the votes.
12 eyes.
Probably sell it in bulk,
Very good. Mr.
Sell it-
Clerk, what's next on the agenda?
That way you get it even cheaper,
Mr. President, item 8 is still on the desk. Okay. Apologies, Mr. President. We voted on item 8. The council has motions.
Dude, he's
for
all
posting and
shined
refer-
up today. Why is his
Very
forehead
good.
really so
Without
shiny?
objection, posted and referred. Next.
That's crazy, because his cheeks aren't that shiny. His forehead is, though. I mean, is it the light that's just got him so glossed up? I mean, look at the rest of them. They
The
ain't
best
all
experience,
shiny.
President.
Look at him. He ain't all shiny.
Very good. Members, do we have any announcements? Councilmember
He's a
McCosker.
little.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have an announcement of an event that will
He
happen
ain't shiny,
tomorrow at
really.
1-5.
Certainly not
the first in a
noticeable.
series of
Think it's
open
hair gel on
houses,
his forehead,
in some
Daisy?
of our field offices. We have
Hair
the
grease?
opportunity to do
On
a
his
grand
forehead,
reopening
Terry, all the way
of
down to his
City
eyebrows.
Hall. It's at
I
55544
mean, that's fucking four fingers,
Avalon
Terry.
on beautiful
I get
historic
one
Avalon
finger,
Boulevard.
but
And
fucking
we've
four
taken the
fingers.
opportunity to redesign the inside and to spruce up this beautiful, beautiful building.
I think it's
And
cocoa
not only
butter?
will we be open housed tomorrow between 5 to 7 for the city offices. Also, all of our partners there will be open housed as well. We have the Chamber of Commerce, we have SBCC, which is a great organization. They have a DULA program that's housed there. We have DOT with their traffic enforcement. I'm sure a lot of my constituents have questions for them. We have, let's see, we also have Avalon
Sunscreen.
Arts and Culture will be open.
S-
They'll do a lot of
SPF 90.
programming along historic Avalon. And we will also
Think it's
have
sweat?
elder walks. And so
He's just
all of my constituents,
perspires
everyone
too
from
much?
the 1-5 is welcome to come to our first open house. We're going to have a series of these across the district. But it's
Open
tomorrow,
house. Let's all go. Let's all crash the open house for Tim
544
McCosker,
Avalon
guys.
in
Let's do it.
Wilmington, and please come.
We're here for the smoke and scan party from 5 to 7. What are you talking about?
Like every other day, there's a lot going on in 1-5.
That's right.
We're gonna hand out
Any
smoke and
other
scan shirts. So
announcements,
we're going to meet up behind
Well, I
it down
would
the street.
Just like to announce that we just.
And then we're all gonna roll in
Oh,
with smoke and
Councilmember
scan
Parks, go right
shirts.
ahead.
We're here for the party. We're here for the gangbang.
President, I actually have a really
That's what we need to say
devastating
in a big
announcement
group.
to make.
1, 2,
Unfortunately,
3.
because
We're here
of
for the
all the
gangbang.
pollution from the winter storms, marine
Fucking
wildlife
news is there.
throughout the Santa Monica Bay
Gangbang.
is suffering. And we are seeing an absolutely heartbreaking number of dolphins and sea lions who are extremely sick and stranding themselves
Dolphins?
along the jetties and some of our most popular beaches around the Santa Monica Bay. My office is partnering with the Aquarium of the Pacific and the Marine Mammal Care Center to provide
Aquarium of the
places for these
Pacific.
animals to rest and recover as well as medical care. We had volunteers out over this past weekend, and there were a lot of reports of, unfortunately, beachgoers and members of the public approaching these animals, trying to touch them and take photos of them. So we are asking the public, if they see a stranded
Don't watch
animal,
Seaspiracy, though.
please keep
You'll
a
be
safe
sad.
distance away
As
and
fuck.
report the animal by calling 1-800-39-WHALE, WHALE. We are also looking for volunteers to help us spot stranded animals, educate the public about what's happening, and help us keep these animals safe. So if folks are interested in contributing to our efforts to protect these animals at the beach, they can go to marinemammalcare.org to begin the process of signing up for training to become a volunteer. This is absolutely devastating, and there are hundreds of animals who are very, very sick and in need of our help. So we really appreciate the cooperation and the public volunteering to help us with this. Thanks so much.
Guys, I think you guys should call in and say there's a stranded whale and then give them my
I would just
address.
like to take a moment to announce that we were just recently, just in the last few minutes, joined by
We'll all show
a
up.
group of interns from the Consulate of the United Kingdom in Los Angeles.
Boy.
From the Downtown Women's Center and from the Pacific
Why does only
Council.
one
So
have
if
a
you
mask?
could, just wave your hands. Welcome to the Los Angeles City Council chambers. We're delighted to welcome you. Any other announcements, members? All right, we can go next to motions for adjournment. Councilmember Harris Dawson.
Oh, they're getting to
Thank you so
adjourn
much,
here.
Mr.
Let's
President,
go.
members, colleagues.
Why isn't she getting up?
I asked
If everyone
She
could please
busted the
rise.
chair.
Sorry,
She don't
Mr.
want to
Harris
show
Dawson, my
everybody. She
mistake.
busted her chair.
Mr. Harris Dawson.
Thank you. I asked today that we adjourn in the memory of Ms. Chandra Mosley.
They made
who
everybody
lost on
leave,
Sunday, June
Mozart.
4th. Ms. Mosley was born in Richmond, Virginia, and moved to Los Angeles in the 1960s. She graduated from Lusinger High School, went on to California State University, Los Angeles, where she graduated with a degree in criminal justice. She was a part of a very distinguished sorority, the Zeta Phi Beta sorority. She worked for the Los Angeles Police Department in the 1980s as a traffic officer and received several promotions during her tenure. After 25 years with LAPD, she was hired by the Department of Water and Power as a management analyst, where she later retired in 2012. Her life's mission was helping children access the tools they needed to succeed. She spent decades devoted to tutoring young children in reading, in writing, and in mathematics. She worked tirelessly to help bridge the gap for youth and young adults so that they could access the opportunities to higher education and a stable lifestyle. She was big on the phrase, go above and beyond the call of duty. She was a dedicated member of her local community in her neighborhood of View Heights in the 8th Council District. She served as a council district president, vice president, block club convener, block club president, and even when she didn't have a position, she certainly dealt with the council office as if she did, to the benefit of her neighborhood. She was a woman of faith and regularly attended Grace United Methodist Church there on Slauson, where she was an active member and participant. She is survived by her 2 children, Rashida Mosley, her daughter, and Craig Mosley, a law enforcement officer himself. Our entire community asks that you join us in wishing her a rest in peace as she deserves.
Rest in peace.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask members that we adjourn this meeting in memory of a 3rd-generation native Californian, Hugh Leeson, who was born on April 27th, 1961 in Palo Alto. Hugh was the husband of my field deputy, Jeff Camp, and Hugh gave generously of his time to many community events and activities. He dove in with Jeff in his work on the neighborhood council and many faith-based organizations, and worked very hard to make Los Angeles a much better place for those around him. Hugh and Jeff would have celebrated 31 years together yesterday on June 26, 2023. He was a loving, caring individual who lived life to the fullest and whose generosity was extended to everyone without hesitation. And, you know, like all spouses of our staff, he put up with a lot. And for all of our staff here in the chambers and in our field offices, we know how hard they work. We know how much they commit themselves. We know how many long nights there are. We know how many late phone calls there are in the evenings and the weekends. And Jeff certainly deals with all of that in my office. And Hugh had to be there to support him, to encourage that work, and had to put up with a lot of disruptions of everyday life, just like the spouses of all of our staff. And so I'm grateful to Hugh for allowing Jeff to do the work that he's done for the people of our district. And he passed away, sadly, on June 9th. He's survived, in addition to by his husband, Jeff Camp, by his son, Geffen Camp, parents, David Leeson and Rose Kitchen, as well as Mindy Gillen, Gian Kitchen, Danny, Caleb, and Casey Camp. Hugh Leeson will be very much missed, and we hope that we hope that you'll join us in adjourning this meeting in his memory. May he rest in peace. If there are no other motions to adjourn, members, thank you all very much. Go out and serve the city well. This meeting is adjourned.
Go out and serve the city well. Shit. Those fools are crazy. I'm telling you, they really think they're like doing something good. They really do. They have this weird thought that like their shit is good. They're doing good stuff. It's wild, man. Wild in the streets. Yeah, cut the mic before that music comes on. I get in trouble again. I already got in trouble a few times this week from that shit. Fucking shit gets me busted. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow's better. You know, today was pretty sucky, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't tell anybody to rewatch it, because even Mr. Spindler was pretty calm. It's crazy. If you want to read up on Mr. Spindler, he's had quite a past. He's been coming here for almost 15 years doing what he's doing. And he actually was the first, like Mr. Herman. If you look and you Google his name, you'll see him. He's in literally a KKK mask with a swastika on it and all that. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's a nice ship. Beautiful day in San Diego. As you can see, the sun's out always in San Diego. I believe it. This is actually the city with the best weather in the entire country. I heard that somewhere. So if you want the best weather in the country, you gotta go about 2.5 hours from where my ass is sitting south. Then your ass can go into Mexico. You'll be in TJ in 10 minutes if the border's clear, of course. Roll your ass in over there, you know. But yeah, man, should be fun. Whatever happened to Melrose Larry Green? I don't know. That dude probably died off. I mean, let's be honest, you know, Howard Stern, you know, the reason most people watched Howard Stern was for the whack pack stuff, right? I mean, if you erase that, not very funny, and that's what you have now. No, pretty much no whack packers. It's whack. Not to mention, you know, he's a coward, but we'll put all that to the side. So, you know, all the real whack packers have either died off, right? Hank passed away, you know, quite a few of the big ones. I mean, Beetlejuice is still alive. I think Elephant Boy, I don't know if he's still alive or not. You know, so really, that's I think what it boils down to, and I think a lot of them are just older and gone. They're done probably not getting much money because you look when you're younger, a lot of times you want fame, you want that, and you get that from a guy, and you think, okay, well, you're getting a ton of money, and you're probably not getting much. He's throwing crumbs at you while he's making tons of money. And you're making an ass out of yourself. He's giving you crumbs, and you're there to be fodder. You're the court jester, and it's when you're a kid, you don't really think about it too much, but after a while, I think it wears on you. I don't know. Gilbert Godfrey, I don't ever remember him being a whack packer. Damn, there it is. That shit never goes nowhere. Like, what does it cost just for the slip? Like, what does it cost just to keep that boat right there every day? What is the rental fee per day? You do realize that's the size of like 3 boats. That helicopter is just stupid, dude. That is straight the fucking... That is the boat I bet you they use that for fucking Wolf on Wall Street. Do you remember he had the helicopter on top of it and they took it sailing to fucking Italy, and then they got in the rough storm and they lost the helicopter. I'll bet that's the one. Even James Bond wasn't that baller. You know what I mean? That's more like Russian oligarch baller. Like Saudi baller. Yeah. That's like that. Like where you got so much money you're just shitting it. And taking it out for $50,000 for an afternoon and then parking it back is nothing to you. 50 grand. It's nothing. It's a tip. You'd leave that a tip for a few people at a few dinners. It's Mr. Harlan's boat. How fucking awesome would it be if it really was Mr. Harlan's boat? And you found out he took the helicopter. He flew into downtown to beat the traffic and landed his helicopter, a block away on top of a building, and they just walked a block over with his backpack and his fucking old ass tough skin jeans. He's a billionaire. He just doesn't want to spend the money on anything except for the crazy boat and the helicopter. I can see it. You have a lot of rich folks that they like, bailing stuff like that. That shit. Got the AWACS on there. Got the fucking all kinds of jets on that joint. That aircraft carrier is fucking full. Who national is crazy? Mr. Harlan? I don't know. Donald Harlan. You got to Google him. I don't know. His name's pretty common, I would guess. Probably a lot of Donald Harlans that would come up. But it's funny. You Google Wayne Spindler, and boy, oh boy, you see how many lawsuits that the Herb Wesson, the president, sued him, and he sued him back. He handed Herb Wesson a napkin that had a dude hanging from a tree on it and said some crazy shit on it. He handed it to him. This fool was wearing the KKK mask with the swastika while doing it. Oh my God. They arrested him. They tried to charge him with a hate crime, and then he fought it because, again, he's a dude. You can look him up. He is bar certified. He's got a bar card right now. You could hire him right now. And funny enough it is, I think he's an immigration attorney. So he acts a fool, but he's probably one of those dudes that's really on the cusp of being stupid bright and being a little cuckoo. And that's why, with street people, it's the same cuckoos every time, and I agree. He's right. But I also have to say that some of these cuckoos are actually kind of bright, like Mr. Sachs. I think Mr. Sachs is homeless. He comes in with those 3 bags of shit. He's always fiddling with them. He's always in the same clothes. You never see him in anything different. I would assume, but he's bright. He understands what's going on. It's like he's got nothing else to do. So he reads these agendas and then he comes and gives him something to do. it's just the other folks that, like the idiot who says he's Joe Biden's son and the chick who says she's raped by Obama in her sleep. It's those ones that are complete, batshit crazy. I mean, Mr. Harlan's batshit crazy, too. Let's be honest. He doesn't own any of that. He doesn't own anything in that respect, I would bet. Not a property, nothing. And he's screaming about everything, and he gets hostile. And I think there's times, like I said, where they'll take their medicine, and there's times they don't. And the times they don't, you see, and they get kicked out for the day, and they know how much they can push before actually getting arrested or whatever. So they know. No, I didn't see Mr. Herman there. None of the guys were there. The only one was Mr. Spindler, and he came in all late. No puppet, no coffee. Even I was late today. It was off. Today's an off day. Is it a full moon today? I didn't even check. Couldn't be, though. It's too... Nah, it shouldn't be. It's usually the second week of the month. I think so. Stacy's there. Stacy's there all the goddamn time. And again, we might have got them on the phone. Mr. Harlan calls in. I've heard him call in. We all know what happened with the phone. So hopefully they'll fix that, and then this way we can have a better show tomorrow. It's quarter moon. Good. Today is Chase Day. It is that. Second best Chase Day. So let's hope for one. It'd be nice to have one. I'd like to, honestly, if I can... 8:23. Can we get one at 8? Can we schedule it for 8:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? Can we do that? We do that 8:23. A nice long one. We want hour and 48 minutes of just action-packed Duke boy non-stop fun. Like, I think we'd all agree on that. I think we could all agree on that. So, yeah, man, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Oh, yeah. She's back. Or that's a different one, huh? Look at her. Fit. I think that's a different one. I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if it's the same lady. No, Chase from LA. Come on, Dominic. No, we don't want that. Don't you understand? Then we'd lose comms. We'd lose the helicopters. You don't want that. What you want is them to realistically just stay around the same area or stay away from tall buildings and airports. And stay within LA County. Those three things. Stay within LA County, stay away from airports, stay away from tall buildings. If we could have those three things, we'd, man, we'd be all right. We'd be all right. Well, trees are going to be everywhere. There's no way to get away from those motherfuckers. And you know goddamn well, as soon as they pull over, it's going to be firmly in front of the tree. It's almost never just out in the open. That's just to fuck us, because we can't have a perfect time. That's just it saying, no, well, just shit can't be perfect. Can't have perfect shit. Can't have it all. Can't have your cake and eat it too. That's what that is. All right, man. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Thank you for all the kind donations. You guys were so generous. You guys are awesome. I will see you guys later tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do appreciate you all. For everything you do for me and for Stinks. And I will see you in, I don't know, about 8 hours or so. See you guys later. Have a great day.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Bye.